Mr. Speaker, this week the media has revealed the deep crisis of children in care in Alberta, a crisis this PC government wanted to keep secret. And nothing is more troubling than the disproportionate number of Indigenous children in care and the appalling number of deaths of Indigenous children. Will the minister admit that there is a crisis facing Indigenous children in care and that it warrants a full public inquiry? And if not, why not?
Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that there's an overrepresentation of Aboriginal children in the care system. And that is something that we have been working hard on. We're building relationships with First Nations and with the Métis Nation of Alberta to deal with that issue, and we're achieving success. In fact, the numbers last year of Aboriginal children in care went down, and they're going down again this year. It's not yet a trend, but it is evidence of very good work happening. More work needs to be done. We will continue to do that work. It is absolutely a focus of our government, through band designates, through DFNAs, to deal with that issue.
Honourable Member to Beverly Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, given that children at risk in Indigenous communities receive significantly less funding than non-Indigenous children, and given that 70% of children in care are Indigenous, why won't this minister stop passing the buck to other governments, recognize our moral responsibility, and do what is necessary to fix the inequality faced by Alberta's Indigenous children?
Honourable Minister of Aboriginal Relations.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the question, but one thing the minister or the honourable member should understand, and maybe should attend a few First Nation communities, this is a very serious issue that First Nations take very seriously. But, Mr. Speaker, there's a process within First Nation communities, and it's important for us as the government to understand that process. It's important for us as government to build the relationships and work in partnership. And, Mr. Speaker, under this Minister of Human Services, who has done more than any member in this House has for looking after children, has started to build those relationships, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've met with the treaty organizations and will continue.
Thank you. Honourable Member.
Where are the dollars, Minister? Mr. Speaker, given that only 9% of children in Alberta are Indigenous, yet account for a staggering 78% of children who have died in foster care since 1999, given that this government is able to find billions of dollars for the flood crisis, will the minister take responsibility and provide adequate funding to the crisis facing Indigenous children to ensure that they receive a level of funding at least equal to non-Indigenous children, and if not, why not?
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, as I said, we've had continued conversations with First Nations across this province, with the Métis and with the Inuit. And, Mr. Speaker, we are putting programs in place. Mr. Speaker, on December 9th, we will announce our Aboriginal Women's Council. We'll provide economic opportunities for single mothers in this province to have secure and stable homes so they can raise their children in them. Mr. Speaker, we're going to have economic opportunities initiatives announced December 9th when we meet the chiefs. Again, they're going to provide opportunities for First Nations. Mr. Speaker, we have First Nations in this province have zero unemployment, and they have zero children in care. So, Mr. Speaker, we are going to continue to work with First Nations and partner with them to get to the bottom of the solution, make sure that we can do the best for all our children in this province.